Hello, and welcome back to Passions and Distractions. It's been a while since I've posted, but I feel like in this time frame, I've come up with a really cute idea, so that makes it okay. And today, what I want to do is introduce you to this idea, which is mini slimline cards. Now, if you're an avid paper crafter, you know that slimline cards are such a huge trend right now. And then there's the smaller version that can fit into whatever the smaller size envelope is. But I have started a new job, and as part of my employee engagement, I wanted to create a bunch of cards that I could give to employees that are doing an awesome job, but just something small, write a little note in there. I can keep a bunch in my desk. And that's part of how I got this idea for the mini slimline card. Also, apparently I like to get even more cards out of one sheet of paper. So with all that covered, let's begin. So of course, first thing is you start by making a base for your mini slimline card. Now I just take a normal 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and first I'm going to cut it in half. So of course that's going to be 5.5. And now I'm going to take each section and I'm going to cut that in half. So that's 8.5, so it's going to be 4.25. Now I'll do that to all 4 sections. And of course you can do this with any color paper you have. If you have pattern paper, those are all good options. But now you have, out of one sheet of paper, 4 card bases. And these card bases are 4.25 by 5.5. So now I'm just going to take that card base and I'm putting it down. As you can see, this is the 5.5 side, and I'm just going to fold it in half. So this requires like the tiniest bit of math. And I've already done it for you. So half of 5.5 is 2.75. So we're just going to make a nice crisp edge right there, and then fold it in half, and bang, you have your card base. So now that you have your card base, which of course can be vertical or horizontal, now we're just getting into basic card making techniques. So anything that you can do on a bigger card, you can probably do on your mini slimline. It's a great way to use up scraps. It's a great way to use these smaller stamp sets that maybe don't always pop as in the way that you want, or gives you a chance to really feature it, maybe feature some coloring that you're extra proud of. Use up scraps from other projects. In this case, this was some ephemera that I cut out from a scrap pad that had a bunch of these sorts of things on one page, and I trimmed them down, and this gave me a chance to use it. It's maybe the first time I've successfully used ephemera ever in my life. I never seem to know what to do with it. So now that you have that, I'm just going to go ahead and put together a couple of pieces real quick. So I'm going for kind of a similar setup where I have this base mat. And this base mat is 2.5 by, it's technically 4 inches. Yes, 2.5 by 4 inches. So as you have figured out, all I've done is cut a 1/4 inch off, or I've pared the mat down to a 1/4 inch smaller than the card, just to create that border. So let's see, just to make sure that I have the room I need anywhere. Yeah, I do. So this is already 4 inches, so I'm just going to trim it down on this side to 2.5. And then just double checking. Yeah, pretty much 4 inches. Excellent. So now you can go ahead and glue it down to your base. So we're just going to pop that down there. Grab my tape runner. Now, I colored a bunch of these little plants. It's from a Hero Art set. I don't remember the name. I'm going to have to link it down below. But I colored a bunch of them up and then die cut them all at one time. So it does make mass producing really easy if you're doing something like that. And then I'm just going to use that to weight it down. And then I'm going to do my best to center it on here, which I'm doing a terrible job at. No pressure, just, you know, a bunch of people are watching me. And there it is. Close enough. So that is on there. Now, I simply get to arrange my elements. I could do a smaller mat on top if I wanted. I could do some additional die cuts. As I mentioned, I am going to be using these as thank you cards as part of employee engagement at work. So, you know, I may do more layers, may not. For that purpose, I kind of want to keep them all pretty much the same style and caliber. I don't want one person to be getting a card that's way, way amazing and the next person gets one that seems a little bit duller. But that's just a personal thing that I'm factoring in. So let me grab my glue and let's get to this. Okay, so hopefully now you are looking at this card and you're going, well, isn't that just cute as heck? I need to make 83 million of these. But hopefully you're also looking at it and going, I want a custom envelope. And that makes sense. This is not an easy size to come by. Well, don't worry. I got your back. Let me show you. So one of the easiest ways to make a custom envelope is take your card and just measure it from corner to corner. So this particular one is, just a skosh over 5 inches, like not even 5 1/4, like 5 2/8. So now what you want to do is you want to take a piece of paper and you want to cut it into a square 1 inch bigger than what you've just measured. So I said that was 5 2/8. So we're gonna cut it to 6 2/8 square. And I happen to get really lucky and find this paper that is a really excellent match for this coral color. I love it when a plan comes together. And hopefully I don't mess it up since I seem to only have one piece of this paper. So you've done that. Now turn it on a diagonal. Now you're going to take this card and you're going to center it as best you can. As best you can. And then you are going to take the first side and you're just going to fold it up. Let me just eyeball that a little bit more. Yeah, that's pretty much center. Fold it up just like that. Now unfold it. Take your next side, fold it over just like that. Take your next side, fold it over. Ooh, just like that. Take your last side, fold it over just like that. You sensing a pattern? Yeah, you are. Now you have this weird little square that's been folded, and you have at each point this little triangle. So where it intersects, you have a triangle. Super easy. All you gotta do is take your scissors and trim out that little triangle on each side. You're gonna probably spend more time just trying to catch the light right than anything. You know what? This might be the smarter way to handle it. Maybe it is. Smart enough. Let's be honest. It's been a long day. It's been a long week. I'm doing my best. There we go. And you have one more. Oh. So now that you have those trimmed out, you have kind of your typical envelope shape. Well, unfolded envelope. Go ahead and pick which side is going to be your top and which side is going to be your bottom. I'm going to say that this side is going to be my bottom, and I am just going to trim off, about 1.5 inches. I'm going to trim about 1.5 inches off this flap. So pull that back out. Inch. That seems like about 1/2. Boop. Perfect. Now that did give me a pretty short flap, but I'm actually pretty comfortable with that. It's a little bit different look. If I didn't like it, then I can flip it over and I can say, hey, I was trying to do this kind of a flap. I can try and do the square flap. And actually, you know what? Maybe that might be what I'm trying to do. Well, nah, I'm digging it. I'm digging it. Maybe next time I only trim off 1 inch. Maybe I was a little ambitious with that 1.5 inches. That's what he said. Maybe not. Anyway, so now that I have done that, I am just going to work with my tape here. Run it down each side, just like that. And now I'm going to press it on. I could have also run it down these sides of the flap. I did not. It's okay. So now I have a custom envelope with a flap. Maybe I want to round that corner a little bit because I got a thing for rounded corners. I have so much of a thing, I still have the corner rounding punch. Boop. Oh, yeah. Look at that. That's nice, huh? Yeah, that's all done. Now I can just slide my card in just like that. I'm gonna put a little double-sided tape on there if I want. Fold it closed, or I can seal it closed with a sticker. And there you have it, a custom envelope for your custom tiny card. Thank you for joining me for another YouTube tutorial here at Passions and Distractions. Bye.